Hi Taurus, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is April 11th, 2020, and this is a general love reading for the sign of Taurus for this upcoming week. So, if you are brand new to my channel or unfamiliar, thank you so much for joining me. First of all, this is Carmilla. She is back by popular demand. I did bring her travel cage to the dining room so she could sit there instead of on my shoulder harassing me, but she's on my shoulder for now. If you are curious about more specific information regarding my videos and my readings, check out the description box below. There is more information there. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate your support tremendously. So, Taurus, I do want to remind all of my viewers that because this is a general reading, it can pertain to just about anything. Relationships, situations and circumstances surrounding home, family, work, social circles, school. If you can think of it, it might apply. So bear that in mind. Also be flexible with the energy. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards. You can mix and match the characters within the reading. In other words, you might be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards. You may feel like I'm reading for you. You might feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. My intention is always to reach those that need the message the most and those that will benefit from it. So hopefully, even if it all doesn't resonate for you, you'll get something out of it. And it'll be helpful in some way. Okay, now you're pulling my hair, so you're gonna have to go up on your cage. Come here. Come here. Good girl. Okay. Where was I? Anyway, yeah. So take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. Okay, Taurus, that's the basic message. So let's get started and see what's going on with you guys today. Here we go. Okay, Taurus, we're going to start off with the Page of Cups, paired with Justice, Ten of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Cups in reverse, Two of Wands, the Six of Cups, and the Hierophant. Okay, Taurus, so I do feel like you might be, this does pertain to a relationship. We have Six of Cups out here, Page of Cups. I do feel like you might be looking at gaining some clarity or some truth surrounding a relationship. It might be a relationship that you're returning to with this Eight of Cups in reverse. The Six of Cups is a soulmate, soul contract energy. This is somebody who might be coming back from your past. This could be somebody who is a soulmate in your life. That does not necessarily have to mean a romantic partner, but it can be. This is just somebody who's meant to be in your life in this 3D existence that we are in. Experiencing some life lessons together, learning and growing together spiritually. I do feel with the Hierophant out here that this is somebody very significant to you. This could potentially indicate that this is a spouse or a partner, that you actually have a marriage contract or something of that nature with this individual. I feel like you might be looking at a decision that was made, or making a decision, or choosing a path of some kind, or revisiting something some decision that has been made, and possibly how it's affecting the relationship or which direction it's taken the relationship. It does feel like it's something that's very significant, whatever this is that you're working through or dealing with the Ten of Wands, Ace of Swords. Maybe trying to gain some clarity on a situation within a relationship. And with Justice out here too, and Hierophant. I mean, you have some significant cards out here indicating this is something very significant within this relationship or the relationship itself. So let's get some more cards out here, Taurus, and see what else we can get for you. There's the Lovers in reverse. And then the Nine of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. The Page of Cups, this time in reverse. The Nine of Cups. The Four of Cups in reverse. Eight of Wands. And then the Two of Cups in reverse. So now we have the Lovers, Two of Cups in reverse on the table. I feel like there could have been some separation or some conflict or something went awry within this relationship. Again, there may have been a split or conflict or something that kept you two apart, or maybe there's been a lack of communication, for example. I feel like this may have been a decision that you made, Taurus, with this Nine of Pentacles out here with the Justice card. I feel like this might have been something that you decided was best for you, or something that you felt would be a positive move in the right direction, especially with the Nine of Cups out here as well. But I do feel like you maybe have returned to reconsider or to rethink this decision that was made, that maybe there's something more to it, or you have to look more closely at it. I do feel that whatever decision was made has definitely impacted this relationship, not necessarily in a positive way. But it does feel like there might be some communication or some movement forward in the right direction with this Eight of Wands out here. Again, I feel like you're returning to look at, reconsider a decision that was made or a path that you followed, or I do feel too that it may have been a solo endeavor or something you chose for yourself, not necessarily considering the other person or people involved and how it would affect them. You might be feeling even a little defensive about your choices or your decisions. The Lovers in reverse can indicate making decisions for the wrong reasons, for example. Let's get some more cards out here, Taurus. We have the Eight of Pentacles. The Hermit in reverse. Page of Swords. Two of Wands again in reverse. The King of Cups. The Eight of Cups in reverse again. The Moon in reverse. And the Three of Wands in reverse. So I get the feeling that with the Eight of Pentacles showing up, that you may have made some kind of decision or chosen some kind of path that was related to job related or finance related, some kind of maybe monetary situation that affected a relationship. Maybe you, for example, I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe you accepted a job that had you parting ways with an individual person that caused you to have to move or take on employment in a location that was distant from a significant other. I do feel like it has allowed you to feel more comfortable in the realm of finances, money, pentacles, that it may have been a right decision in regard to that aspect. But I think you've also realized or come to terms with the fact that it has had a negative impact on a relationship, or possibly more than one relationship. And that you're returning to, again, reconsider or look at this decision again. I do feel like the King of Cups is probably your energy, but this could be somebody that you're dealing with. I think that you still have compassion and love, a lot of emotional feelings regarding this relationship, with a significant connection that you have, and it is your hope and dream to return and to reconsider maybe how decisions from the past have affected the relationship and what to do from here. There might be communication and movement within the relationship with the other person so that you can gain some clarity, so that you can talk and understand each other's perspective, maybe come to terms with what happened in the past and why it did not work out for the better with regard to the relationship itself, because I feel like the relationship itself has been damaged or hurt in some way, shape, or form because of this decision that you made. And again, it could have been a work-related decision, but I feel it was a significant move on your part, and I do feel like it was something that was significant for you, and maybe you didn't consider don't bite my ear, you're going back on the cage. Maybe you didn't consider how it would affect the people that or person that you're close to, the relationships that you have, or the relationship that I think that this decision affected. Again, I do feel like you've gained a certain level of confidence or security, especially within the realm of finances, money. In that respect, it's been very positive for you. But it may have negatively affected this relationship. I do feel like you're standing your ground, though. I do feel like you are defending yourself and saying, look, this was a decision I felt like I had to make. It was a positive decision for me. You know, that whatever negative effects it had, perhaps on a relationship, was not intentional. I don't feel that. I don't feel like it was intentional. I feel like it was just, you know, things happen. Maybe you grew apart, or there was separation or lack of communication, because, you know, the job or the financial situation was taking precedent over relationships or connections. Let's get some more cards out here for you, Taurus. So there's the King of Cups again. I do feel like that's your energy. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Nine of Pentacles again. Queen of Swords. The Emperor. The Fool in reverse. The King of Wands in reverse. And then Death. So I feel like the Queen of Swords is the person that you're dealing with. And I do feel like there is a little bit of a disconnect, emotional disconnect to a certain extent. But this person is kind of laying it out on the line, saying, look, this is how it is. This is how this decision that you made affected me. It is what it is. You made your choices, I made mine. I don't feel animosity necessarily from this person, but I do feel like they're kind of being very blunt and direct with their communication. Very single energy coming from both you and this person, at least right now, but there is a certain level of disappointment or regret I get from this King of Cups. It's not that I think that you regret your decision completely, because I think you actually feel that it was the right decision to make for yourself. That it definitely gained, you gained a certain level of confidence and security with the decision that you made from the past. And again, I do feel like it's work related. And that was it was a justified decision. There's no reason to defend yourself. And I almost feel like that the person who understands this Queen of Swords, has an understanding that you didn't make this decision out of malice or wanting to damage the relationship, But I feel like you might be coming back and reconsidering this relationship, and maybe a little bit fearful that time's up, that maybe you missed the boat, that maybe this one decision related to finances or work kind of took precedent, and now it is, you know, it's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the consequence or the aftermath of not necessarily a broken relationship, but something that was put on the back burner. And, you know, for some of you, or many, it may have indicated the end of the relationship. Or not indicated, but brought about the end of the relationship, this decision that you made. Again, I don't feel like you have to defend yourself, because I think you made a good decision for yourself. But, you know, it did result in some consequences related to a relationship or connection that you might be feeling a little bit regretful about. Or maybe not regretful so much, because that's the wrong word, because if you made this decision and it was a positive decision for yourself, and you don't want to, you know, you can't defend something that you did purposefully and for your own betterment, you can't regret that. But I think you're fearful now too that, you know, there are consequences to every action that we take, every decision that we make, and one of the consequences of this decision you made for yourself did impact a relationship, is what I'm getting more than anything else. So let's get this last round out, Taurus. We have the Seven of Wands again. Seven of Swords. There's the Eight of Wands in the reverse this time. The Magician in reverse. The Lovers again in reverse. The Ace of Swords again, this time in reverse. Justice again. You get a lot of repeats. And the Five of Cups. Okay, so really strong message. And it's really clear cut too. There's not a lot of wishy-washy combinations of cards. It's really coming through quite clearly. I do feel that at the time that you made the decision, and again, I don't feel like it was a decision you felt like you had even any, it was almost like it was black or white. It was like, this is how it is. This is what I'm choosing. I feel like maybe at the time that decision was made, the person that you're dealing with, this Queen of Swords, may have thought that you had emotionally manipulated them. That's the best word I can come up with. Because they weren't set as a priority, this individual. And they may have felt taken advantage of, or again, manipulated emotionally, because you ended up ultimately making a decision that didn't include them, or by the very nature of whatever it was you were deciding on, it couldn't include them. And it was something that you took control of and decided for yourself. It was something that was positive for you, but ultimately had a negative impact on the relationship itself. And I do feel like you're returning. I do feel like you're coming back saying, look, I still have love. I still have compassion and loyalty. I want to try to make this work again. So there might be this attempt, Taurus, to return, even though the decision's already been made. And I do feel like there's a lack of clarity with regard to where this leaves you now. Where do we stand now, asks Taurus. There is a lack of clarity and feeling a little unsure, maybe even a little bit worried or nervous about the ultimate answer. Where do we stand now? And there is some regret and sadness surrounding the end of this relationship. And again, it wasn't an ending because of conflict. It wasn't an aggressive ending where there was fighting or hurt feelings, although I think that this person that you're dealing with did have hurt feelings and did feel betrayed. That's what I'm getting from the Seven of Swords. You might be in a position right now where you're kind of defending yourself and saying, look, it wasn't about betrayal. It wasn't about me trying to hurt your feelings. It wasn't about me trying to get away with something or trying to manipulate you in any way, shape, or form. This was about a decision that I had to make for me. And, you know, I'm what's going through my head, for example, if you're a young person and you went off to college and you left behind a new relationship or something that you felt might turn into something because that person wasn't going off to school with you or whatever. Okay, this cat sneezed and the bird got scared and she flew down on close to the ground, and then of course that freaked me out because the cat's down there. Not that he would attack her, but sometimes he gets startled and surprised because she's flapping around near him. And just for the record, the cat leaves the bird alone. In fact, she goes after him most of the time because she can be kind of aggressive sometimes when she's in her moods. But anyway, sorry, totally distracted. Anyway, what I was saying, if you're a young person, you went off to school. This is just a for example story. Obviously, you're doing something for the betterment of yourself and your life and your potential career and this and that. I'm going to take this card. But it left someone high and dry. And it was unintentional. And it wasn't, you know, you weren't trying to emotionally manipulate this person, make them feel bad. It is what it is. It's just how things worked out. But now I get the sense that you're returning and maybe wanting to delve back into the relationship and see if there's anything left. So we have the Mother in reverse, which I find an interesting card to come out in this reading because a lot of times when I pull these cards, it's like, oh yeah, of course that card came out. This card, I'm like, what? That's the kind of reaction I'm getting, Taurus, but we're going to read it. And if you're resonating with this reading, maybe you'll get something out of this card. And let's see what we get. I'm doing really good on time. That message, like I said, was very clear for me. There wasn't much in the way of fuzziness. So I am going to read, well, it came out in the reverse, so it's a potential blockage. Okay, it's about a page long, a little over a page, Taurus. The Mother in the traditional Rider-Waite deck is the Empress, but this one has a little bit different meaning. There is some similar meanings to this card with the Empress. The reversed Mother can signal the presence of an aspect of self, our own self or that of another, that is devouring and cruel and uses psychological or emotional manipulation to instill guilt in her child for not meeting her expectations. When her disappointment is used as a weapon and a means to control and bind her children to her, the natural process of individualization may be kept from occurring. Receiving this reversed card asks you to ask if you have fallen into a pattern of using emotional manipulation to control others. That's interesting that came out. Is your hurt or disappointment genuine, or do you act in a deliberate manner to instill guilt and remorse in order to manipulate people into meeting your expectations of them? Another aspect of the reversed Mother is evident by those who are willing to give their all and everything to others. Those people seem consumed by a need to be needed and feel that it is their place and purpose in life to fix every wrong and make everyone happy. They get involved in life. They get involved because if they do not, the situation will not be resolved. And leaving a situation unresolved is not something they can tolerate. These people may be perpetually cooking, cleaning, and mothering others instead of allowing those they mother to learn to be responsible for themselves. Have you involved yourself in a situation that is really none of your concern because you want people around you to be happy? Do you have a tendency to offer for unasked for advice? Do you often act as a peacemaker or intermediary without being asked? Do you live your life constantly doing for others what they are capable of doing? Do you live through others? Do you give up your time to do for them what you should be doing for yourself? The reversed Mother suggests that these things, while done with love, are still aspects of a controlling mother because they can prevent others from standing on their own 2 feet, resolving their own conflicts, and becoming independent. Moreover, they are tasks performed to the detriment of nurturing self. Often, the very advice given to others is not adhered to by the person giving it because they are perpetually in service to others and neglect themselves. If the mother appears reversed, she symbolizes a situation that you need to step away from or a relationship where you are exerting undue control or influence. Let go of your need to control or be needed and ask yourself why you are compelled to behave in this manner. Sit back, put your feet up, and relax. Allow those around you to sort out their own dramas and pick up their own dirty laundry for a change, or they will never learn how and will always expect it to be done for them. So as I was reading that, honestly, from a different perspective, I was looking at this as a potential romantic relationship that maybe you left behind for a decision that you made for yourself. This could potentially be a family relationship or someone that you've been close to, for example, a mother, that may be a little resentful over some decisions that you made. I'm just using that as an example. Where maybe they saw you as not being appreciative of the energy they put into the relationship, and now returning almost or giving that that kind of tough love energy in response to your return. That's just an example that came into my head as I was reading the card. So Taurus, I'm going to leave this here. I hope that you gained some kind of clarity or something from this reading. If it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe if you want to. Leave a comment if you'd like to. Those are always great. I really appreciate you watching. Carmela says goodbye, and I hope I see you again soon. Take care, Taurus. Bye.